Had these souls but clung steadfastly to the handle of God manifested in the person of Muhammad, had they turned wholly unto God and cast aside all that they had learned from their divines, he would assuredly have guided them through his grace and acquainted them with the sacred truths that are enshrined within his imperishable utterances. For far be it from his greatness and his glory that he should turn away a seeker at his door, cast aside from his threshold one who hath set his hopes on him, reject one who hath sought the shelter of his shade, deprive one who hath held fast to the hem of his mercy, or condemn to remoteness the poor one who hath found the river of his riches. But as these people failed to turn wholly unto God, and to hold fast to the hem of his all-pervading mercy at the appearance of the day star of truth, they passed out from under the shadow of guidance and entered the city of error. Thus did they become corrupt and corrupt the people. Thus did they err and lead the people into error. And thus were they recorded among the oppressors in the books of heaven. Now that this evanescent one hath reached this exalted point in the exposition of the inner mysteries, the reason for the denial of these uncouth souls will be described briefly, that it may serve as a testimony unto them that are endued with understanding and insight, and be a token of my favor unto the concourse of the faithful. Know then that when Muhammad, the point of the Quran and the light of the All-Glorious, came with perspicuous verses and luminous proofs, manifested in such signs as are beyond the power of all existence to produce, he bade all men follow this lofty and outstretched path in accordance with the precepts that he had brought from God. Whoso acknowledged him recognized the signs of God in his inmost being, and saw in his beauty the changeless beauty of God. The decree of resurrection, ingathering, life, and paradise was passed upon him. For he who had believed in God and in the manifestation of his beauty was raised from the grave of heedlessness, gathered together in the sacred ground of the heart, quickened to the life of faith and certitude, and admitted into the paradise of the divine presence. What paradise can be loftier than this? What ingathering mightier, and what resurrection greater? Indeed, should a soul be acquainted with these mysteries, he would grasp that which none other hath fathomed. Know then that the paradise that appeareth in the day of God surpasseth every other paradise, and excelleth the realities of heaven. For when God, blessed and glorified is he, sealed the station of prophethood in the person of him who was his friend, his chosen one, and his treasure amongst his creatures, as hath been revealed from the kingdom of glory, but he is the apostle of God and the seal of the prophets, he promised all men that they shall attain unto his own presence in the day of resurrection. In this he meant to emphasize the greatness of the revelation to come, as it hath indeed been manifested through the power of truth. And there is of a certainty no paradise greater than this, nor station higher, should ye reflect upon the verses of the Quran. Blessed be he who knoweth of a certainty that he shall attain unto the presence of God on that day when his beauty shall be manifest. Were I to recount all the verses that have been revealed in connection with this exalted theme, it would weary the reader and divert us from our purpose. The following verse shall therefore suffice us. May thine eyes be solaced therewith, and mayest thou attain unto that which hath been treasured and concealed therein. It is God who hath reared the heavens without pillars thou canst behold, then mounted his throne and imposed laws on the sun and moon. Each travelleth to its appointed goal. He ordereth all things. He maketh his signs clear, that ye may have firm faith in the presence of your Lord. Ponder then, O my friend, the words firm faith that have been mentioned in this verse. It saith that the heavens and the earth, the throne, the sun and the moon, all have been created to the end that his servants may have unswerving faith in his presence in his days. By the righteousness of God, contemplate, O my brother, the greatness of this station, and behold the condition of the people in these days, fleeing from the countenance of God and his beauty, as though they were affrighted asses. Wert thou to reflect upon that which we have revealed unto thee, thou wouldst undoubtedly grasp our purpose in this utterance, and discover that which we have desired to impart unto thee within this paradise. Perchance thine eyes may rejoice in beholding it, thine ears take delight in hearing that which is recited therein, thy soul be enthralled by recognizing it, thy heart illumined by comprehending it, and thy spirit gladdened by the fragrant breezes that waft therefrom. Haply thou mayest attain unto the pinnacle of divine grace and abide within the reservoir of transcendent holiness. He, however, who denied God in his truth, who turned his back upon him and rebelled, who disbelieved and made mischief, the verdict of impiety and blasphemy, death and fire was passed upon him. For what blasphemy is greater? What blasphemy is greater than to turn unto the manifestations of Satan, to follow the doctors of oblivion and the people of rebellion? What impiety is more grievous than to deny the Lord on the day when faith itself is renewed and regenerated by God the Almighty, the Beneficent? What death is more wretched than to flee from the source of everlasting life? What fire is fiercer on the day of reckoning than that of remoteness from the divine beauty and the celestial glory? These were the very words and utterances used by the pagan Arabs living in the days of Muhammad to dispute with and pronounce judgment against him. They said, "Those who believed in Muhammad dwelt in our midst and associated with us day and night. When did they die? And when were they raised again to life? Hearken unto that which was revealed in reply. If ever thou dost marvel, marvelous surely is their saying. What, when we have become dust and moldering bones, shall we be restored in a new creation?" And in another passage, "And if thou shouldst say, after death ye shall surely be raised again, the infidels would certainly exclaim, This is not but palpable sorcery." Thus did they mock and deride him, for they had read in their books and heard from their divines the term life and death, and understood them as this elemental life and physical death. And hence, when they found not that which their vain imaginings and their false and wicked minds had conceived, they hoisted the manners of discord and the standards of sedition, and kindled the flame of war. God, however, quenched it through the power of his might, as thou seest again in this day with these infidels and evildoers.